It was Elvis. When I was very, very small, I really liked Elvis, and I became obsessed with him. I'm Nick Marsh. I play the guitar. I've been doing since I was a wee boy. I'm from a musical family. My mum teaches piano. My grandma taught piano. I've always played a bit of piano as well, but it's always the guitar for me. I was playing in bands and stuff at school, and then I got into classical guitar when I was probably about 15 or 16, and eventually went to music college in London and studied classical guitar for 3.5, 4 years. Played in some bands. Always loved jazz as well. Was always kind of, what are they doing? I don't understand what they're doing. I must learn this strange language. Came out to New Zealand a few years ago, wrote some music for films, studied jazz like formally, and then it's really sort of become my obsession now. And I've eventually morphed sort of from Elvis to classical guitar to rock. All these things were kind of happening sort of alongside each other anyway, so it was never like I was one thing. But I'm pretty much morphed into a jazz player now. I really like this guitar because it's got a great sort of woody sound, and you can actually get quite a lot of different things out of it. It's not a rock guitar because if you put distortion on this, it just goes and feeds back. So maybe I should just learn where to stand a bit more. But there's only 2 controls on it. There's a volume and a tone, and I tend to have the tone probably about 6, volume sort of around there if I'm comping, and then if I take a solo, just flip the volume up a bit. The neck pickup's really nice. And then you can do sort of Grant Greeny kind of funk. It's got quite a nice sort of spanky. If you turn the tone back off. I mean, it is still pretty much jazz, but it's got all of the shades of jazz without any effects. Because I do play with a few effects, but I really believe as a player, I think if you can't sort of make it work with a guitar and an amp and a cable, you need to sort of look at what you're doing a bit. Because you can buy all this stuff and it's great and I love it and it's a lot of fun, but it comes down to the instrument, and what kind of pick you use and what kind of strings, and about 45 years playing. But it's nice for sort of that kind of chord melody stuff. I've got 13-inch flat wounds on this, which give it a lot of bottom end. So I tend to just have the amp sort of flat, and try and manage it from what I'm doing with my hands. But I'm just noodling, sorry, but doesn't really work. I've had a friend of mine had a go on it, and he's more of a rock player, and he had a really hard attack, and it just didn't work. You need kind of light touch on these kind of guitars, I think. really my who I love to listen to and try and emulate as much as I can is people like Joe Pass, Kenny Burrell, George Benson, his earlier stuff before he got loads of hair gel, and all those great players. You know, I listen to a lot of sort of 60s Blue Note and early Robert Johnson blues stuff, you know, T-Bone Walker. You become like a sum of your musical input. It eventually seeps into your playing, hopefully. There's a Cuban composer called Leo Brouwer. He's been around since the 60s, and he's written lots of sort of avant-garde music, and he's very big in the classical guitar world. Anyway, he was running a masterclass, and I played his music to him in front of an audience of classical guitarists who were not amateurs. They were like concert level sort of people, and it was like, and he kind of liked it. I think he had a few things to say, but he didn't laugh, which is kind of good. And back in England as well, I played with a few bands with members of a band called Jesus Jones. I played with people from the Cult and the Pretenders as well when I was rocking. Here in New Zealand, I've written music for TV and film. Yeah, so who have I worked with? Lots of people, but no one really big. But I did meet Michael Jackson once, but that's another story. I didn't get to play with him, obviously. But